again, sizing up Murphy. Drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. J-Dub way behind the three-point line and hits way behind the three-point line. Got blocked. What a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested podcast, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada at NBA Summer League. After the Thunder have played their first Vegas Summer League game and lost to the Toronto Raptors. I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't remember the score. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. I've got a group with me today. We got JD Silva down at the end there.
Fellas.
We got Justin Peabody with us.
Hello, everybody.
Taylor Peterson is here.
Vegas. Well said. Well said.
Nick Crane will be here in about 12 hours. I'm going to be real honest. I'm a little worried about that one.
Is Nick going to sleep
No,
like tonight?
no.
He'll sleep on the plane.
Okay.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
We'll see. We're brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the best fast casual food in OKC, Dave's Hot Chicken and Spark OKC. We did see a Dave's out
There is a
here
Dave's on
in
the
Vegas.
strip.
It's not our Dave, so I didn't touch it.
Oklahoma Dave's is superior.
Exactly. We've spent the past 2 days over at the Thomas and Mack Center enjoying some NBA Summer League action, culminating in this evening's game with the Thunder versus the Toronto Raptors. Thunder got off to a really, really slow start. Just really couldn't score the ball. Defense was okay at times. Really turned it up in the second half. We'll dive all into that one. But first, gentlemen, I thought we are doing a pod tomorrow, Sunday as well. But I thought to start us off here, we could maybe talk just a little bit about Summer League vibes, Vegas vibes. How have things been the past? We've been here about 48 hours now. How are you feeling?
Meh.
Yeah, I'm feeling about the actual sitting in Thomas and Mack. I'm feeling meh. I would say I had more fun 2 years ago when Chet and J-Dub and
You don't say.
so on and so forth were there. But Vegas as an experience with the fellas has been 10 out of 10.
Vegas
it's been
with
great.
the fellas always hits.
Vegas with the fellas. Part of my disappointment with Thomas and Mack is that it's like 115 outside, about 90 in Thomas and Mack.
Not
So,
great.
Hey, it's pretty nice here tonight. It rained
It's raining.
in Vegas. I didn't know it did that.
It's a Vegas miracle.
I think
The only
Silva-
Vegas miracle of tonight.
Silva, what you hit on.
Silva's going to need a Vegas miracle
Oh my
tonight.
gosh. The basketball is just not hitting like it used to.
Where's the aura, Justin?
Where's the no aura? Absolutely no Riz. It's just not there.
Yep.
I think the most telling part was yesterday. Thomas and Mack was insanely packed out for Bronny James' debut, and that crowd wanted something to happen so bad, and it just never did. Like, they went nuts over just a very regular Bronny James layup. That's as close as it felt to like the hype that we've had
I agree.
in recent years. And then the second that game was over, in what's supposed to be the marquee matchup of the number 1 versus the number 2 pick with Risacher and Sarr, everyone left, and it was like dead.
Yeah.
And they did the starting lineup, and like they announced Risacher and no reaction. They announced Sarr, no reaction. The MC was getting everyone hyped up, and he's like, "Who here is a fan of the Washington Wizards?"
Crickets.
Here's
Crickets.
a wild question in the year 2024.
Yeah, you just can't. You
incredible.
can't ask that.
And so I feel like across the board, there's just not that level of gravitational pull around any of these guys right now. Reed Shepherd was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Reed stole the show.
Yeah, Reed's probably been the best
Yeah.
guy we've seen live. So you mentioned like the aura-less arena.
Not to be confused with Oracle Arena.
Hey, if they get bad enough, that's a good nickname.
Or
But I do have to say, for the Thunder game tonight, we've been talking about it for a few weeks on the show now, but the Thunder linking us up with some tickets. We got a bunch of people, some T-shirts. If you were at Thomas and Mack tonight in the Cox Pavilion and watched the game, like drop a comment in the chat or on the YouTube video or whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys. But we had a ton of folks
That was super cool.
Like a ton of folks
A
coming
ton.
up, getting T-shirts saying "What's up," getting stickers, chatting up. Like
We
Thunder
ran
fans
out of our
kinda-
stickers. That
yeah,
was crazy.
ran out of stickers, ran out of shirts. It was a little messy trying to get in, but it's just summer league. It's so many people
Yeah.
So
that the
many people.
logistics was very difficult. But we had like a full Thunder section, which was really dope.
I don't know if you could see it on TV, but you could definitely feel it in the arena. And I saw some reporters talking about how like they've never seen another team or another team's fans do that, where everyone was sitting in a section. Like, really cool idea from the Thunder. Really cool that they asked us to be a part of it. I think saw lots of people like the Brick Man and the Thunder Princess Girl and the Matador guy, Thunder Thor. Yeah, like it felt like a Thunder atmosphere, which was super fun, even though the Thunder couldn't make a basket.
Justin, you mentioned announcers talking about it on the broadcast, but my favorite part, like you guys mentioned, it took us a while to get into the Cox Pavilion, which is essentially like a practice gym for UNLV. And we're sitting there waiting in line, waiting to get into the gym. And there's so many opposing fans and scouts and people who would walk by and just go, man, the Thunder really travel well. Those fans really travel well. So I thought that was really cool. It certainly was noticed by other fan bases.
Well, the mob of Thunder fans that were walking from our meeting spot to the Cox Pavilion were at one point chanting OKC, and it was just, I imagine if you're another fan there, you're like, what the hell is going on? I've never seen anything
really
like
awesome.
this. It was
Thunder
so
fans
cool.
really showed up and showed out. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
it's really cool.
We had some people hit us up about some uncontested shirts, which was really cool as well. So yeah, if you run into us tonight, if you met us tonight at the arena, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. Drop us a line in the comments, in the live stream, on social media, whatever. We'd love to just to hear from you guys. Let's talk a little bit about the game. No Ousmane Dieng out here in Vegas. Well, he was there, but he's not playing. Actually, before we get into the actual basketball of it,
So close.
Cason Wallace was courtside.
Yep.
With
And
his
then
brother.
who was guy number 2 to show up courtside?
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Taylor, so close.
So close.
I'm so used to saying
close.
Hartenstein.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
I'm so used to
Hartenstein.
pronouncing it wrong that I don't want to pronounce it right.
We've all been saying Hartenstein, just like we said to Kason. Or
I don't think that's accurate.
Hartenstein showed up, which was really, really cool. And then Dub and Chet rolled in.
Yep.
And it was really
Two
cool.
barks, I might
I was
add.
gonna say,
From
yeah.
that Thunder section, everyone started barking, which was fun.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that I had to like take Dub back a little bit. He was not expecting that.
From what I understand, the players did not know that Thunder section was going to be there tonight.
Super
so
cool.
that's really cool as well.
Also had Nikola Topic sitting behind the bench. I wasn't sure if he'd be there or where
like
he'd
traveling with
be,
the team,
or
yeah.
but yeah, he was right there behind
My
the bench
assumption
too.
is he hasn't had surgery yet. I mean, we didn't see anything on his leg. But he
Correct.
wasn't walking around either. So.
Yeah.
We also saw Olivier Sarr
Yep. Sarr
And,
was there supporting his brother.
in a very small boot. If that man tore his Achilles, he's healing at a superhuman rate. So shout out to those genes, that DNA. Let's talk basketball. But first, we're going to take a break. We will be back in just a moment. And we are back. JD,
Hello?
who stood out to you in this game today?
I'm so glad you asked, Jacob. There were 2 players, probably the ones you would expect. You know what? 3 players, I'll say.
Oh, plot twist.
Yes, there was Dillon Jones, of course. Just looks like a veteran amongst boys out there. Just plays a cerebral game. I was trying to think of a comp to him, and it's like if you took like 70%, 60% maybe of Zion Williamson's athleticism away and just transmitted that into like craftiness, you'd have something that looks like Dillon Jones.
Okay.
I was thinking, what do you guys think about, and feel free to shit on me for this, Zion Williamson?
I'm gonna have to give you a boo on that one.
That's all right. You know,
I'm into it. Zion
all right.
Williamson.
I was getting bored in that arena, and I just firing things off.
Starting to
The
cook.
clock started.
Yeah. But no, he looks good. I still don't know if he's gonna get like minutes for the Thunder this season.
I would
But
highly doubt it.
yeah, he looks good.
I mean, he'll play at some point. He's not going to be in a rotation.
And then of course Ajay is everywhere. We kept saying that as the game went on. You mentioned they went on a defensive run in the second half, and he was a big part of that, just getting in everyone's business and creating plays. He was having a hard time finding his shot early, but that really came around. And final shout out, and we can go back and talk about any of these guys. I don't want to like totally take over, but Adam Flagler, he's a winner.
He can shoot. He can score. It's pretty crazy.
Taylor, what was Dillon Jones's line tonight?
So he had 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, but he was 7 of 15 from the floor and 2 of 4 from 3. One thing I think just Dillon Jones Summer League as a whole that's been promising to me is his 3-point shooting. That certainly was more of a weakness, I think, at Weber State. He obviously had the ball in his hands almost exclusively for that team, and I think he only shot like 31% from 3 this past season. And so to see him kind of come along with that jumper, both in the mid-range and from 3, has been promising. Hasn't been elite or anything of that nature, but going 2 of 4 from 3 in a game like tonight, especially with Oos out and he's taken on more ball handling responsibilities alongside Ajay, that was promising to me.
The shots looked good for him in Summer League.
Yeah,
I've been really impressed.
I don't know that there's anyone worth talking about other than the 3 people that Silva already mentioned. I think AJ and DJ, both as the story of all of Summer League up to this point, those 2 guys have looked pretty good. They've done some fun things. They've been all over the place on both ends of the floor. And Flagler, I think, he's been around the organization that like we've seen it with the Blue. I think he can score. But that's kind of where it ends.
The Thunder had 10 bench points tonight.
Yeah,
8 of those
that
came
feels
from
right.
Keontae.
Feels right.
2 of those came from Ryan.
So I'm glad you mentioned Keontae, because that's to flip the tables a little bit. A little disappointed by Keontae.
Yeah.
He started tonight. Like we said, Oos got shut down. It felt like maybe Keontae Johnson has something to show us, and nothing. Did he score at all?
8 points.
8.
He had
You
8 of the
literally
10.
just said that. Thank you for clarifying.
I don't think he played well, though.
I don't think he played well, and he didn't score. He didn't have anything like through most of the game.
He didn't have any points when the game was competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Just didn't look
that's
poised.
disappointing.
Yeah.
I think that that's
Or
disappointing.
maybe
And-
it's like a one-off, but there was some talk like people were speculating, could Keontae get that 15th roster spot?
It's exactly where I was
don't-
going with that.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't
I-
either.
Agreed. You say it's a one-off, Jacob. I haven't been impressed throughout the majority of Summer League,
Now-
including Salt Lake.
I get to say my quote that I say every year for Summer League. Summer League is meaningless.
Fair.
So this could mean nothing, but I agree.
You know what else is meaningless?
Life or
Yeah, life.
that's
life.
where I thought you were going.
There we go. Yeah, I
Gambling.
do have some thoughts, though, on Keontae,
Futility.
that kind of...
Eat Arby's.
What'd you say?
Eat Arby's.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you
Nihilist
said.
Arby's.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
yes, of
Maybe we'll
course.
hit up Arby's later tonight.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Nope, we're going to the cantina, boys.
The
Paradise
local watering
Cantina.
hole, and I'm very excited.
I'm gonna
Keontae.
get some cantina and some Milky Buns before we're done tonight.
Wet burritos, Milky
You
Buns.
can't say those things out of context.
Also, I cannot see, like, we have our chat up in front of us, but my vision's not good enough to see what anyone's actually saying.
Oh, I actually have a comment I've been wanting to read for a while in the chat that pertains to you. So this is a great
So-
segue.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It says Cormac Ryan looks like if JD just showed up and played Summer League.
I want to look up a picture of this guy. 'Cause I'm-
I don't think it's a basketball
I'm
game.
not- I-
It's yeah,
or the looks. I think
It's not appearance.
It's the game.
correct,
Oh, okay.
correct.
He's talking trash on your game.
Well, that's fine.
I mean-
Hey,
It-
speaking of though, a little plug for tomorrow's show. You'll want to tune into the YouTube version. Are you all right? You'll want to tune into the YouTube.
We're losing our
version
minds.
because we're gonna bring up pictures of random Summer League guys, and I'm gonna give you accurate descriptions of those players. So if you have any guys that you think would just be fun for me to describe
Based off looks
based off
and
looks,
vibes.
send us their names and I will dive into it.
I'm
Okay.
excited. Hey.
An example would
Don't give it away.
No,
man.
yeah, we need to save this.
we need to save it.
Yeah,
Okay,
you've been
okay,
talking
we'll-
about it past it. That's a great one. We need to lead off with.
We'll save it. If you have a guy that's in Summer League that you just think has a good look, and you want me to tell you what that person's background is and what they do for a living,
This will go well.
drop the name.
I'm sure. Yeah. Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fine.
which makes for a great podcast. Hey, can I round us out here with that last Keontae thought?
Please.
So I've kind of been thinking about this ever since the Dillon Jones news after the Thunder drafted him. There was a local reporter who covered him at Weber State who mentioned that the Thunder were interested and actually wanted to take him in the second round last year. But Dillon decided to bet on himself. He went back to Weber, decided not to transfer for NIL money and go on a bigger stage. And because he wanted to be a first round pick, he decided to take this more difficult route. And sure enough, he was a first round pick by the Thunder this year. But I can't help but look and compare Keontae Johnson and Dillon Jones. I think it's pretty unfair maybe to call Keontae a poor man's Dillon Jones at this point. But I certainly can see the archetype that Presti was targeting last draft. And that alone, now that they have Dillon Jones, makes me think that Keontae is probably not destined for the Thunder in any capacity, maybe with the Blue next season if he can't get somewhere else. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if he gets another roster
It sounds
spot.
like he's not on the two-way.
Correct.
As well. So that's interesting. I was impressed by the size of Dillon Jones. Seeing him in person, he's a
big dude.
He's very filled out. He doesn't look like when we saw Risacher, he's thin.
So small.
Yeah.
Very small in person.
He looks like he's going to get bullied in the league. I'm sure people said the same thing about Chet. Dillon Jones, I know he's an older guy, but he just looks so much more well built.
How old is he?
22.
Okay. Yeah.
I think. I think he is more ready from a physicality standpoint for the league right now. And I've been pretty impressed with him.
And I think we were talking about this in Thomas and Mack yesterday, that seems like the Thunder have kind of a penchant for these bigger, rangy kind of guys like Keontae.
Yeah, the thick boys.
And AJ, the thick boys. That is how we were describing them yesterday. Going all the way back to Deontay Burton.
Deontay Burton's a great one.
Daniel Orton, does he apply to that?
Holy
Going
hell,
way
I forgot about that.
Lou Dort.
Can I say the GOAT, Dion Waiters?
Yes, you can.
Deontay Burton.
Dion Waiters is a bit of an exception, but yes.
They've been kind of going to this this thick boy defensive, rangy.
I guess Dort could even fit in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a thick boy after eating pizza and fast food and just gluten and carbs every single night.
Are we done talking about the game?
It seems that way.
All right, let's take another
Sorry.
break. On the other side, we'll give some other parting Vegas thoughts before we get out of here, because we're back with you guys with another pod with Nick in here tomorrow.
He's going to be hanging from the rafters.
We'll be right back. And we are back. JD, you mentioned it. So why don't you give the folks a quick rundown of the food we have consumed while we've been here?
Oh, boy. Let's see. Night one. Let me see if I pronounce this. Giordano's.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
B plus.
Had deep dish for the first time. My God, that was good.
It was
Something I did not prepare for is before I left, the night before I left for Vegas, got pizza for dinner. Easy dinner. Next day, for lunch, leftover pizza. That night, deep dish. So you can imagine how I felt.
That's a lot of pizza.
Really good, though. The next day, Momofuku.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to say that on the podcast.
Hey, I own the cookbook of the owner, and I was like, I got to go there, try that out. We got
Who cooks it better? You or them?
oh, well, them. But that's beside the point. I had pork belly buns,
Life-changing pork belly.
Steamed
yeah,
buns.
ramen, lamb ribs, lamb
Which were
ribs.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? Shrimp
Yeah, I
buns.
had the shrimp steamed buns, which were fantastic with spicy mayo, some pickled onions. And then we had an appetizer there that I can't remember now, but they were fantastic.
Oh, the croquets.
Yes.
Oh, oui.
Yeah, and then we got the milk bar right afterwards.
Milk bar, that was really good.
Was good.
Yeah. What else? That yesterday was a long day.
Yesterday
was
was
a
a
long day.
really long
Did we
day.
have anything between that and Shake Shack? Because we
No.
ended the night on Shake Shack.
We ended the night.
You guys
on
had some
Shake Shack.
pretzels.
We did have some
Right before
pretzels. We
we
had
were
some
rushing.
We had some
Rushing to make it into a show, which was
went
awesome.
to a show.
And then got out of there and hit up a late night Shake Shack,
I'd never been
which
there.
was fun.
Shake Shack was
It's
good.
good, really good.
I liked it.
I feel like we've part of the aura this year.
Mhm.
We haven't seen the NBA players walking around
Yes.
yet.
Yeah.
There's still time, but
There
like
is.
last year, like bumping into like Joel Embiid and like Derek Favors playing blackjack and stuff like
yes.
that. Like
Okay, I was going to mention that, Justin.
pretty cool. I mean, we did run into Joel Lorenzi, basically the same.
Celebrity.
Derek Parker, Daniel Bell,
Yeah.
you know,
Joe Cronin.
A-listers.
Yeah, Joe Cronin. That's a
Joe
big
Cronin.
one.
I was impressed that
Yeah.
Silva noticed him. Hey, I was going to say, you guys
Dave
mentioned
McMenamin.
vibes at the top of the podcast.
Impressive
Like,
or sad?
I think a part of that too, you mentioned just the NBA players that were around last year. A lot of that's the Wemby draw. So there were so many players that
Well,
were out.
right now it's
But also
Team
it's Team USA.
They're all
exactly.
In,
They're
yeah,
in
They're all
Dubai.
in Dubai.
That's a good
So,
point.
That's a big,
Not as many players around
big
this year. Not
factor.
as much A-listers around this year.
What place is hotter right now, in Dubai or Las Vegas?
Probably Vegas. It's insane.
Probably Vegas.
Yeah.
Dude,
Taylor-
we landed and we got off the plane. I don't even know what like metaphor to use.
Taylor said it best earlier today when he said it feels like someone's putting a blow dryer to you at all times when you walk outside.
Not great.
It's horrible.
I felt like I was like a. You remember that college football bowl game where they were all eating the Pop-Tart man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I
Pop-Tart
was the
bowl.
Pop-Tart man, but getting shoved down in the toaster.
Yep.
That's what it felt like.
I felt like the eyeball in the Clear Eyes commercial.
Yeah.
Clear eyes, like where it gets all red and shrivels up. That the second the airport double doors open, you
Oh,
just
dude, it just
shrivel.
Heat wave.
like
Crazy.
you ever been cooking something real hot in the oven, and then you
Yes.
open the oven and just like blast the ever
Except
loving shit out of you.
You're in the oven.
You're in the
Yeah.
oven constantly. I don't know how they do it here.
I
Miserable.
Other notable.
feel like I'm a turkey in the cooker in Las Vegas, and God's just looking in through the glass.
We're
just,
getting
like,
slow
tapping
cooked.
on it.
yeah.
Is it ready yet?
I wish someone would baste me.
There's a.
We need that clip.
We need that clipped. Somebody clip
What,
that.
what's the time on that?
Hey, this is important. Speaking of famous uncontested sounders,
Oh, I thought you were going to say, speaking of basting.
How have we not talked about
This
this,
is
yet?
the highlight.
We actually had a comment in the chat about this already. Jacob, would you like to fill the listeners in on your little Vegas adventure
we
today?
got a new sounder. You ready? I'm going to drop it right here.
Yes.
I'm never making another parlay in my life.
beginner's
made a-
luck
I
was
made a
not-
parlay and I lost.
Please inform the audience what your first parlay included.
It was a three-parter. It was a trilogy. The first one was the Thunder +4.
Thank you,
And then I had the Spurs straight up.
Do we know? Did
Spurs won.
Spurs won by 4.
Okay.
And then I had Utah straight up. And is that game over?
It's
I don't know.
probably still going.
If it is, it's got to
Thunder
be
let
close.
Jacob down.
Get us with the update. Utah winning? How
Let's
close
see.
were you?
If I went 2 or 3,
They are losing by about 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Brutal.
What?
I'm never betting again.
Are you blind?
Wait, oh wait, no.
They're winning by one.
They're winning by 1.
What?
It's
Jesus, Taylor!
Like, am I looking at the same thing as you?
How much time is left?
3:40
minutes.
left in the.
Oh, well,
yeah,
Can you
before.
imagine if the first two had hit? We'd be
Cody
sitting in
Williams,
that arena right
21
now.
points.
Ooh, Cody Williams.
I'd be
21.
sweating
We'd be
bullets.
sitting in that arena, and Jacob would be on full on degenerate.
I
right
would
now.
be.
Well, no, because the Thunder didn't cover.
I said if the Thunder had won.
Sorry, okay.
Hey, Cody's having a great game, fellas. Just so you know,
Good for Cody.
21 on 9 of 15.
Also, I will say, after the Thunder game ended, the Jazz and the Mavs played in the same arena. Dubs stuck around, which you would expect, but so did Chet. I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
The vibes are high.
Casey
real
went
one.
back in the locker room with the team. That was cool.
Super cool. So, Jacob, never making another parlay. He ripped up the ticket in the lobby.
Yeah, you can find it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Although today is also the day that these guys had to pay for all my food while in Vegas.
Isn't that
yes,
nice?
we did.
So that's nice. I had a smoothie this morning.
Can we do layaway for that?
What?
I might have been allergic to something in the smoothie because my throat started itching real bad. We had
That was a
Shaq's Big
parlay.
Chicken for lunch.
Which was fantastic.
It's really good.
I had a couple of waters and some cinnamon pecans at the arena.
You're so prudent.
That's the second time you used that word on this podcast.
Is
Jason.
it
And now we're about to go have some canteen and
No,
some Milky
You said
Buns.
penchant.
penchant, and prudent? Anyway, yeah, and y'all bought my summer league merch yesterday for winning the.
You know what
the
I'm just
playoff
realizing about
predictions,
all
right?
of that?
What?
We sent you money for Summer League merch. You guys are about to send me money for
This is
food.
this is called money
I
laundering.
don't like where this is going.
Do you know who hasn't been here and contributed to any of those funds?
Nicholas.
Nick, you owe me some money, bitch.
He owes me some. He owes me some money too. I'm gonna shake him down when he gets here.
Bitch better have my money. I think we'll end the show there. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back with our full Sunday episode tomorrow for live here in Vegas with Nicholas Crane in attendance as well.
There's not room on this couch.
He can sit
so
on
I don't know
Taylor's
how that's
lap.
gonna work.
We're
But
gonna get nice and cozy in here. It's gonna be a good time. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday night. If you're back in Central Time Zone, it's pretty dadgum late, so enjoy it. We will be back with you Sunday night. Until then, and as always, thunder up.